Okay, so welcome back students. We'll start with the array today, and this is the content, or you can say as the syllabus requirement for our course. The topics are linear array memory representation, means how they are stored in memory, how the arrays, linear arrays are stored in the memory, that we have to see. The second is the traversal, insertion, then deletion, then two searching algorithm, that is linear search and binary search, then merging, and again the dimensional array representation. These are the topics that we have to study. So again, so this particular we have two parts. Half, like some of the portion will be discussed there, and rest of the portion will be discussed in the next video. Now come to the introduction part first. Data structures can be classified as linear and non-linear data structure, that we already know. Whenever I call the data structure as a linear data structure, there's two basic ideas. The first, either they should be stored in a sequential memory location or a contiguous memory location, or at the time of access they must be accessed in a contiguous pattern. Either of the thing, if applicable, we call a particular data structure as a linear data structure. Otherwise, we call this thing as a non-linear data structure. Linear elements arranged in a sequentially in memory location, that is array, and in the linked list case, it is like they are accessed in a linear fashion. Non-linear, such as tree and graph, operations are traversing, searching, insertion, deletion, sorting, and merging. Arrays is used to store a fixed size of data, means, see, whenever you want to store some data inside an array, you have to create it first. You have to fix the size of that array. That's why array is used to store a fixed size for a data, and a linked list, the data can be varies in size, because in the linked list the memories are created at a runtime, but in array they are already predefined. Okay, this is the size that I want to create an array. This is the size. Once you create, you cannot increase or decrease the size. Now, what are the advantages of an array? It is simple. It is economy. It is economical given only you are using the entire amount of the memory you allocated for the array. Random access at the same time, because they are controlled by the indexes, you can randomly access any of the index directly. Disadvantage, wasting memory if not fully utilized. Suppose you have created an array of 30 size and you are just storing 5 elements, because you think like you have 30, there is possibility of 30 data. You have created an array of 30, but just some of the reason you get only 5 data, means you are wasting so much of the space. Come to the linear array. It is an homogeneous data. This means one type of the data can be stored inside an array. Suppose it is an integer array, it is only meant to store the integers. Now, elements are represented through indexes. Elements are saved in a sequential memory location, that we already know. To represent a particular element, we have indexes, and they are stored in a sequential memory location. Sequential means 1000. Suppose it is integer array 1000, 1004 in this particular pattern. Number of elements and length or the size of an array. Okay, if UB is the upper bound, this is the largest index, and the lower bound is the smallest index, then how to find the total number of elements? UB minus LB plus 1, given n is equal to UB. But again, this thing works whenever the array index starts from 0. By default, make sure you remind in your mind, by default the arrays indexes are starting from 0 only, but for some of the case, if it is starting from 1, then the n is equal to UB. Means whatever the formula, n is equal to UB minus LB plus 1, that is upper bound minus lower bound plus 1, will fit correct, given that the index starts from 0, that is the lower bound starts from 0 itself. That's why that is a plus 1. For example, suppose you have 0 to 8, so it is like how many elements? 0 to 8 is like 9. So 8 minus 0 plus 1, that is 9. Come to the linear arrays. All the elements in A are written symbolically as 1 to n in the subscript, like A1, A2, A3, An. In Fortran and Basic, it is A smaller bracket 1, smaller bracket 2 a n in this way. In Pascal, C and C++ Java, a bigger bracket 0, a bigger bracket 1, and so on, a bigger bracket n minus 1. Subscript start from 0, that is the lower bound is equal to 0, upper bound is equal to n minus 1, where n is the total number of elements. Now, how they are stored, or what is the way we represent an array in a memory, we'll see with an example. Now, the process to determine the address in a memory, the first address is called as a base address. Means the starting index address is called as a base address. Relative address to base address through index function. We have something called as an index function that will help to find the relative address with the help of the base address. Suppose I have a character array of 100 size. Okay, I have a character array x of size 100. Let for a moment just consider the character uses one location storage, just single storage. If the base storage is 1200, the next element would be 1201, the second element would be 1202, third element would be 1203. Index function is written as location of xi is equal to location of x0 plus I. So we can actually figure it out like whether it is actually we can use or not. Suppose the base address here, what is the base address? 1200. So here the base address is 1200, and now plus I suppose I am looking for here. This should be 1204 obviously. In this case, suppose it should be x3 and it should be x4. I am looking for the fourth. This is I 0 1 2 3 4. I am looking for 4. The answer would be 1204 that I am looking for. Now this algorithm works very fine, whatever the index function, but only given that it is a character array. Now suppose it is not a character array, this should be like what? Suppose this, whatever the data we have, taking 2 bytes of information at a time, it should be 1202. It should be 1204. This is 1208 and this is 1211, 1212. Okay, so it should be 1210. Now in this case, whatever you are expecting will not get the answer. Means whatever the formula given here, it works fine, but only for this particular case. Got this point? So it works fine, I am not denying, but it only works for this particular case only. So we need something called as a general formula that can fit into any type of the array. It could be an integer array, it could be a float array. It still works fine for us. So we need something called as a general index formula. So the formula would be location of xi. So this is the, I am looking for the address of this index I. Okay. So what I need, the location of lower bound, that is the base address we are looking. This is the base address. Okay. Here the W is the memory location. Suppose it is integer array, it would be 4. If something else, it would be given. It is basically means what is the size you are looking for, I minus LB, that is I minus lower bound. Where the W is the length of the memory location required. For real number, it is 4 byte, integer 2 byte, character 1 byte. It could be anything. Now it is again a general formula, so it can work on a superficial data also. Means it could be just an idea, it still will work. Suppose if the lower bound is 5, okay, the lower bound is 5 here. Again it is a superficial data, so don't worry, but still since it is a general formula, it will work. If the lower bound is equal to 5, location of the lower bound is 1200 and W is equal to 4. What is the location of 8? So we'll try to create an array and see whatever we are trying is correct or not. So this is an array we have. So that is lower bound here is 5, index is 6, 7 and 8. It should be 12 double 0. It should be 1204. It should be 1208. It should be 1212. Okay. Once it is a 1212, so this should be the answer I'm getting. It should be what? 1 2 1 2. Okay, so that is the thing. So location of x, 8th location, right? Location of x5, that is the base address, plus w. 8 is the index I'm looking for I value, and the 5 is the lower bound. Answer is 1212, and we are still getting 1212. This means this formula works as a general formula. Come to the traversing algorithm. Now one thing I'm making it clear. Traversing means accessing each record exactly one time. That is the basic idea. Okay. So we'll start. So look at this algorithm, right? We'll start and assign a counter. See, the first step is assigning a counter. Given, suppose the lower bound is equal to 0. Whatever the lower bound, we will assign to the k. Okay. Now repeat the step 2.1 and 2.2 while k is less than equal to upper bound. Means until k does not reaches to the upper bound, k will start with the lower bound, that is the initial value, and this particular step 2.1 and 2.2 will continue to execute until the k is less than equal to upper bound. So it will go for every index one by one. What is the idea is do the process on linear array k, whatever the process you want. It could be anything. You want to print, you want to access, anything it is, and then k equal to k plus 1, so that suppose currently it is at the index 0. If the lower bound is 0, it will process the data LA of 0. Suppose this is an array. Okay, suppose this is the array we have. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3. This is our lower bound, and this is our upper bound. Okay, so this is lower bound, this is upper bound. So what is the idea behind here? We will start k equal to 0. So the first it will point to here as a k. Now after that it will process this data, and then k is equal to k plus 1. So the k will go here. Again it is still less than the upper bound because upper bound is equal to 3. It is currently 1. So again it will process the data. Okay. Then again k equal to k plus 1. Again the condition is satisfying. The k will go here. It is currently it is still less than upper bound. Again it will process the data. Again it will go here. This time it is equal. Again it will process the data. Next time the k would be 4, and that is more than the upper bound. Yes or no? Okay. Once it is more than upper bound, obviously it will not going to execute the step number 2. This step is not going to execute. So end the repeat step 2 and exit. That is the idea. Okay. So that is the traversal algorithm. Now if you try to find the time complexity, it is running for like all the values of an array. That is the size of the array. Suppose the array size is n, the complexity would be order of, the complexity would be order of n. This is the worst case, right? Or also as the best case, because the traversal means you have to access each record. This is a mandatory process. Complexity is order of n. Come to the insertion algorithm. Now insertion algorithm means you want to add a record in the existing array. Okay, I'm repeating again. Insertion algorithm means you want to insert an element into an existing array. This means you have a space already available. Insertion algorithm only works whenever you have the space available in the array. You're just trying to insert the new record. It is not about the increasing the size of the array. It means the array size is already given, like you have a sufficient size to accommodate the new element. But how you will insert that, that is the idea. Now These two major cases. The first, if you want to insert at the back, the last, suppose we have an element from 0 to 10. Suppose we have an array of 15 size, 0 to 14. You have an element till 0 to 14. What? So you have an array of 15. So it should be 0 to So in this case, what will happen? Suppose we have an array of 15 size. So the indexes would be from 0 to 14. Suppose we have only 10 elements present. In this case, so 0 to 9 will be filled. Now what is the idea is you have to store at the 10th index. Now since you have the space, inserting at the last or back is quite easy. But because you do not have to change any places here and there, there is a space given, you have to just add the element, it is working fine. But so that the line insert item at the back is easy if there is a space. So for example, if somebody want to add some element here, if somebody want to add some element here, it is fine because this is the last position. It can be inserted easily. There is no problem in that. But if somebody want to add in between here, this position, you have to work something like you have to move all the record. Suppose it is already filled. So from here to the last, all element. Suppose you are storing at the second index. So from 44 to 18, every element will go plus 1. That is, suppose it is currently at the second index, it should move to the third index. This should go here. Similarly, in the same manner, this will go here, and after that, this space could be utilized to store the new record. Okay, so see with an algorithm. So here, so let me create an array. I will take a simple array for just representation. Suppose this is the content. It should be 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. It should be 5. This is the input we have. So we have a linear array LA with n elements. So see, n is the number of element here. So for in my case, what is the n value? I have 5 elements. K is an integer positive, where k is less than n. Means we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, sorry. Here the linear array means we have an 7 element array. So this is a linear array with n elements. So the n will be 7 here, 0 to 7. Now k is an integer positive where k is less than n. Okay, and lower bound is equal to 0. Now j is equal to n minus 1. Okay, so like we'll start back, like there's some interruption. I have a linear array LA and n is the with n elements. N element means the number of elements that is present inside the array. So how many elements are present inside the array? That is 5. Okay, so we have like how many elements? We have 5 elements. Okay. Now k is an integer positive where k is less than n. Means you want to add something in between of this. Now in this case, j is equal to n minus 1. What is n? 4. So j would be here. J will be here. Okay. Now while repeat step 2.1 and 2.2, while j is greater than equal to k. Now what is the k? Suppose I want to insert an element here. That is the k. K is equal to 2. So that is the position I want to insert. Currently j is greater than k because j is 4, 4 is greater than 2. So what it says, whatever we have in LA of j means whatever we have the element here 6 will be copied here. So 6 will be copied here and j is equal to j minus 1. I will take a different color. So the j will be go from here to here, and then again the j is currently at 3, 3 is greater than k, 4, 2. So this value 5 will go here. So 5 here, and then again the j will be reduced to j equal to j minus 1. It will reduce here. It will reduce here. Now in this case what will happen here is, again it is equal to is allowed, so 2 is equal to 2. So what it says, 4 will be copied from here to here. Okay. Now after this space is already free, like it is again a copy, so issue next time the j will reduce to here. Again 1 is not greater than equal to 2. This means this particular step will terminate. Okay. Now whatever the item you want, that is the element you want to store, you store inside the LA of k. LA of 2 means you can store an element here, whatever you want to store, and then n is equal to n plus 1. Since the number of element will now increase to 6, because we have already 5, we inserted one more element, that's why n is equal to n plus 1. That is the idea. Okay. Now make sure you practice it once because it needs some time. Now next thing is, what should be the time complexity here? It should be order of n in the worst case, because the maximum would be inserting at the element at the first position. This is the worst case. Okay. Order of n time could be required here. Come to the deletion algorithm. Deletion means delete an existing record. Now deletion is easy process, is not an issue. If you want to delete something at the last, suppose you want to insert this particular element, okay, not an issue, you can delete. Means if you want to delete here this particular element, that in last element could be deleted easily, not an issue, this particular element, because okay fine, n is equal to n minus 1, it will work. But suppose you want to delete something in between, deletion is fine, but it will create a gap. How to fill that gap? What is the idea? At the point of the deletion from here, all the numbering from here to here will go one index back. So 100 will go here, this element will go here, the 5 will go just the index before, because you have deleted one element only in this way. Okay, so this is the idea. And now once every element has been reduced to k equals, you can say now the new index would be k minus 1. Okay, fill gap by the shifting process. Now we'll look at the algorithm now. Simple it is, that will not take much of the time. We'll create an array. Okay, suppose the elements are 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, suppose you want to delete this element. Item is equal to LA of k. One thing you should remember it down. If you are trying to delete anything, make sure you report it to the main program. That is by default case. Means you have to copy that deleted item into some temporary variable. So here it is, I am copying this into the temporary variable, whatever I want to delete at the kth index, because I want to delete the element at the kth index, I copy this to the item. Item is a temporary variable. Now from k to n minus 2, So this, suppose it is 0, 1, 2, 3. I'll take a different color now. Okay. So from k, that is the, what is the k value? K is 1. So k is equal to 1. This loop to be run to n minus 2. What is n size? N is the number of elements. Number of element is 4. In this case, it will run like 1 to 2 times. 1 and 2 it will run. Okay, not an issue, no problem. Now it says whatever LA I plus 1. So the first time I would be 1. So 1 plus 1, because it will copy the k value. 1 plus 1, that is 2, means LA of 2 will be copied to the LA of 1. I is 1. So it says LA of 1 would be copied to LA of 2. Means you are copying the second element from to the first element. That is something doing. So copying the element from 3 to 2 here. So this is will be, since it is have to be deleted, this 3 will be replaced here. Okay. Now again for the k is equal to 2, it will run. Say this is 2. It will have to run for 2 also. So now the k is equal to 2. So the second operation would be 2 plus 1, that is 3. Array of 3, the linear array of 3 would be copied to array of 2. Okay, it will copy from here to here. Is it fine? Now once it is done, so element at the third index will be copied to the here, and at last you have to decrease the size because the number of element has been reduced to 1 because you have deleted one element. N is equal to n minus 1. The n value would be now 3. Okay, what should be the time complexity here? It should be order of n in the worst case. Okay. That is the idea. Now, from sequential search, we'll start in the next video. Thank you.